Everyone. I decided to try and use a couple of sets of dies that I hadn't previously opened. I opened them this morning, and I've got these 3 little cups, and I've got this coffee grinder. I remember my grandma used to have one like this. I may have had it from her at one point. I don't remember, but oh, it's so evocative, and the smell, oh, when you do it, wonderful. Anyway, what I thought I would do, I remembered that donkey's years ago, I used to belong to the Unity Stamps monthly stamp club or whatever it was. And there was a sentiment about coffee. And I looked it up and found it. And it says, coffee and friends are the perfect blend, which I thought was lovely. So I was a bit bothered to see if it was going to be too big for the card base that I'd anticipated, which is this one. This is my half a sheet of A4 cut down the length, and I'm going to be tent folding it, and this is the panel for the front. So this is the panel I wanted to use, and I got out a couple of tables. I got this one and the folding table, and I decided this one kind of looked better. So I stamped on a piece of white just to see the size, and I thought I can just fiddle around with this. And I thought if I have the table kind of there and a couple of cups on the table, and I found this little flourish die, and I thought if I chop that up, it might make kind of steam coming out of the cups. And I've also got, these are all Gummiapan dies. This was a shelf one, and you can either use it just as a shelf or a shelf with kind of knobs on that you would hang teacups on. So I thought I would have a shelf up the top there with the coffee grinder on the top, and maybe a couple of cups hanging on the hooks, on the knobs. What think you? I thought that might kind of do. So shall we have a go? Right, I've got out some brown VersaFine Clair to stamp that. I just thought the brown was more sympathetic for coffee, really. So let's just start. I think as it's quite a lot of stuff for me going on there, I'm not going to bother much with the background. Whether I do a little bit of shading or something afterwards, that's probably another thought. But for the time being, I don't anticipate doing a background as such. So let me just get something to work on. I've got a little mat here I can put down the side to do colouring. This is just I bought some card that's for photographic backgrounds, and this was a piece left over, so just laminated it to use as a kind of as a palette, really. So let's stick some of these together so that we've got some stacked cups. The coffee grinder, the drawer piece fell right out, and I thought, well, that's probably a good thing, really. So if I stick that onto there like that, the drawer will look like it's kind of recessed a little bit. And I did wonder whether to take the top one of these off so that would be, I think I will. I'm saying these things, wondering about it, and I make my decision as I'm talking. Okay, so that can go onto the front like that. So I'll colour the mechanism at the top and the box and then the drawer. So I'll just let me do it now before I lose it, and then we'll be safe, won't we? So that is going to be, I think I may use those metallic paints, if I can put my hand on them. Here they are. Let me get that out of the way for a minute. Metallic paints, just to do the handle, because I think it would be, metal, the handle. So here's a little, let's have a different one. Just looking through. Do you know, I've said before, I bought loads of things from Tonic Studios in bundles, reduced, very much cheaper. And this set of brushes was one of the things. It's about eight or nine brushes, all different shapes and sizes. I absolutely love them. So let me just do this deep, I don't know if you can see what I've got here. It's a deep sort of charcoaly, metally colour. So let me just do the mechanism at the top of the, doesn't matter if I go over the, I think that'll do. I could do the drawer the same, couldn't I? As I've got it out, I might as well just do something with it. Okay, that's fine. So we've got the metal and the drawer, and the actual thing itself. What colour shall we have that? This one. My grandma's was green. I'm going to do it green. I'm not sure if the whole thing was metal, actually. I think it may have been. Not sure. Let's just do a bit of shading down the side. And we go over the whole thing with another one. That's good. That just like my grandma's. Right, let's stick it on, and then it hopefully won't get lost. May have to put a little bit of tape on the back to hold the drawer into the back layer. I'm not sure, let's see. Right, there's our coffee grinder. Actually, I think my grandma's had a wooden handle. I'm going to put some brown on the top of that. This knob would have been brown. There we go. Maybe this knob too. Better do that one with the other end. The knob on the drawer to pull it open. There we go. Sticking to my fingers. Do you know, it doesn't look like I've got all the green on that one properly. I don't know if I can do it. Let's just see. Without going onto the drawer. Oh, yes. Good. That's fine. There we go. So there's my coffee grinder. That's good-o. Now we need, when my shelf fell down, the thing's still down, the actual shelf didn't fall down completely. It just kind of, one support went a bit ski-whiff, and so a whole load of stuff fell down. Not everything on the shelf fell, but my Nuvo markers are in a hanging basket under that shelf, and they went flying, and one of them is gone. I don't know where it is. It'll be underneath something, I expect, but I'll find it later. Right, I digress. Let me stick these two together. The table, and I think we'll have this brown. I know brown wood is not in fashion these days, but I care for it. Nearly all my furniture is what they call these days brown wood. Brown furniture. Funny, isn't it? Fashions change. Okay. Now, let's colour it. A little bit of dark for shading. Okay, now we'll go over the lot with, I think we'll try coconut shell. need to put a bit more glue on it. I don't have it quite aligned. So I'll just put a drop more on. There we go. That's better. Just need to do a bit of colouring down the sides here. That will do. So there's my table. Got that. Now I've just put the shelf together. There we go. We'll have this a paler colour, I think. Let's have... Oh dear, where's the end of that? Obviously I hadn't put the top on properly, had I? That will never do. Just going to give this a wipe. It looks like I'm getting some things contaminated. The stuff that doesn't come off with a wet wipe, like this alcohol ink, I just get off with essential oil. I'll show you in a minute. So let's just do the knobs. Okay. There's my shelf. Do you know I don't like that? I'm going to go over that with this and do those knobs with, they were a bit messy. I'm going to do them with a, I think I'll do them with a black fine liner. So let's have a look. There we go. That's going to tie in more with the table anyway, isn't it? Probably just as well. Okay, let's press on. Now stick some of the cups together. I think I've just done a couple of each design. So we can have one hanging up on the shelf and two sitting on the table. It's not. I probably would have done all three on the table and put some more, but I think it might get a bit fussy. Right. There we go. Coffee and friends. Can't think of anything better. Graham Husband singing again. Bless him. Right. What colour shall we do these? That's green. Going on the shelf up there. That's going down there like that. We're going to put a couple of these on the top. I'll put one of those up there. One of these on the table. I think I'll have this white, so I'll just put a little bit of shading on it. So feather grey. This is the one. Just want to blend that in just a little bit. This is just a clear blender. Okay. On this one, what shall we do with this one? I think I'll have it mainly white, but probably a bit of colour around the top of this one. That one still doesn't look very nice. Don't like it very much. This is the bit I don't like. That's better. Right, let's put a little bit of colour on the top of this one. For some reason, I fancy a little bit of pink. And I hate that. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like that pink at all. Dear. I have got some little that's better. Oh dear, nearly didn't get there. Let's do something on this one as well. Okay. Oh, that's made me feel better. Right. Dear, no, I am so silly. I just get these ideas in my head and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Right, those are going to go on there. Oh, I haven't coloured this one. What should we do with this one? I think that one looks more like a kind of an earthenware-y thing. It's a bit hectic. Fruit punch, this one says. Fruit punch. That'll do. Hokely dokely. Now, a bit of assemblage. Oh, have I got those? I wonder what these will look like. I thought I'd snip a couple of bits off them. I might lose them. Let me start sorting the front panel out, and then I can pop these things on. I think some of them are going to be going on with a little foam tape. Now, let's just get this position for the sentiment. About there. Okay. About there. Okay. Let's just see. Hopefully we'll get this done. Now I'll leave that in position there, so I know where I'm going. And we'll try this just about there. Okay. Let's stick the table down. I haven't been chatting as much in videos just the last few days because of this cough. If I chat too much, I tend to start coughing. So I'm, you know, trying to keep it to a minimum. About like that, I think. So I will put a glue dot on this one. These are a little large, so I'm putting it on my thumb first to roll it up a bit. Okay. That's going to go right at the back there. This one I'm going to put on a little foam square, so it sits partially in front. Let's just see. Okay. Now, how about these little bits? What can we do with these? Let's just see. I thought I could get the bottom two of these to look like steam, perhaps. Or even the top two. I'll put them on, put them both on, I think. For this, I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the table, put my finger in it, and then just wipe it over because it's so narrow. This. Okay. There's one. Let's have the other one. There we go. There we are. Bit of dust on the top. Right, now the shelf is going to go about there with the cup hanging about there and the coffee grinder up there. I think that's just about worked out, isn't it? So let's stick the shelf on first. Okay. There's my shelf. This is going to go on with another one of these foam little squares. just bent it a bit, as you can see, just to give it a bit of shape. I've got to position this so that the handle is over one of those. That's it. And then this one is going to sit on the shelf. Right. That's enough of that. There we go. Not quite straight. That's better. That's going to go on there. And we're done. So I'm just wondering whether to stick that bit down so that it looks like it's... I think I will. I'll just put a little bit of glue underneath there and stick that front bit down, because otherwise it looks like the cup is floating. So I'll have to hold that just for a moment. But I think we're kind of there. Just get rid of the excess glue. Right, I'm going to have to hold it. So hopefully you've had a bit of fun. These things are just so detailed. You don't kind of need to do much, do you? But they are just lovely. So I'll pop the finished card on the end of the video, and I'll see you next time. And thanks for all your support.